This item is item 26, UC 24-0574. Use permits for the following: 1, a resort hotel, and 2, a multifamily dwelling. Waivers of development standards for the following: 1, increase the driveway width, and 2, reduce driveway approach distance. With design reviews for the following: 1, resort hotel, 2, multifamily dwelling, 3, entertainment or recreational facilities, including an arena, theater, convention area, event plaza, and outdoor pool areas. 4, all associated and accessory structure uses and structures and incidental buildings and structures on 26.33 acres in a CR commercial resort zone generally located on the east side of Las Vegas Boulevard South, 920 feet south of Sahara Avenue within Winchester.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Rory Reed. I'm an attorney. Reed, Rubenstein, and Bogatz, 300 South 4th Street. I'm here on behalf of the applicant. With me is Greg Borgell, our land use consultant. Nick Tomasino's to my right. He's an executive with LVXP, and Alfredo Alcantar from Paul Steelman Partners is in the audience. And I'd like to cue the video if the engineer could. It's a very brief video that will introduce the project.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever
This project will transform the North Strip, and it will change the Las Vegas skyline forever. In very broad terms, and I'll ask Mr. Borgell to be my Vanna White if he's willing, it consists of a 18,000-seat NBA-ready arena, a resort hotel with 3 hotel towers with over 2,600 rooms and condominium units, a casino, convention areas, and a 6,000-seat theater. We have been working on this for many months with your staff, and we want to thank Comp Planning and the other departments for working with us. I want to also give a shout out to Rosemary Vasiliadis at DOA. And as you heard at the outset, after reviewing this, your staff recommends approval. The staff has recommended some conditions to go along with that approval. If you grant it, we've reviewed those closely, and we agree with them, one and all. The town board also reviewed this, had a hearing, and they recommend this to you unanimously. And if it's all right with you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to step aside. We've worked with our neighbors. I don't know if any of them are here, but I'd like to give them an opportunity to make whatever comments they'd like, and if it's all right with you, I'd like to respond, and then we'll make ourselves available to answer whatever questions you have.
Thank you so much. This is a public hearing. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? We have a willing participant.
Can I just talk here?
Good morning, that's fine.
Good morning. My name is Erin Genolis. I'm a neighbor, Turnberry Towers.
Please speak into the microphone.
A neighbor at 222 Karen Avenue. We've lived at Turnberry Towers for quite some time, and we've been excited before about the development of this specific piece of property. Our concerns, or as they've been voiced to me and my other neighbors, is this really going to happen? As you know, we dealt with AllNet year after year after year, and yet nothing. We'd like to know the timeline, financing, what can we expect? We'd love this project to come through. But again, I see AllNet on the top of this. What's their involvement? Is this just yet another development company saying, yeah, we can do this? Or is this really going to happen? Because we've been looking at an empty hole for way too long. Way too long. We want something to go in there, and we want some action. Right now, it is a not properly secured, empty hole in the ground. There's a homeless encampment in there currently. It's dirty, and we're not happy. We want this to go through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Jason Bishop. I'm the community manager for the adjacent property of Turnberry Place. And we submitted a email as well as I dropped it off with the commission last week. Assuming the project goes forward, just some kind of concerns to make the project a little smoother for the nearly 800 residents that reside just south of this potential project. That was received correct. I didn't know if you wanted me to go through each of these now. I did submit them, but I certainly can't.
They're part of the record. I think Mr. Reed is prepared to respond to some of those.
Okay, yeah, very quickly. There's 3 gates that lead on to the construction site. We were very concerned. There's one that's the most southern. It's literally like 70 feet from the nearest building. If they could use the other ones for the construction site. The other ones were just keeping Paradise clean. We have such a problem with Fontainebleau with the water there. It's kind of always underwater if you're in that section over there. From the runoff, LED signage, we've worked with Westgate. They were in Fontainebleau as well. Having the flashing videos 30 minutes before dusk, 30 minutes after dawn, because there's just so many homes over there. So to try to have that as least impactful as possible. And like we said, it certainly sounds like an exciting project for the north end of the Strip. And then certainly traffic tie-ups is our concern. There's talks about putting a light over there. It seems like the light would be more beneficial more north of Paradise because there's already a light within about 50 yards of that. And we're just worried about traffic. Is when you talk about the 18,000-seat arena, the theater, which is all very exciting, but traffic we just believe is going to be a nightmare over there. And if Turnberry Place Master Board could be a part of any traffic studies that were done, that's one of our things we would like to propose here. And and then most recently, I actually walked the site yesterday. And the fence is completely cut. It's kind of a disaster in there. I don't know when the last time someone was over there, unfortunately. But there's some vagrants living in there, and they kind of have makeshift ladders to get over to the wall to the Turnberry Place property with the 773 homes. So our security is really having to be diligent on watching that. So if we can kind of beef up some semblance of security over there until this project happens. But like I said, this was all submitted last week, and again, we're excited. It seems exciting, a very exciting project, but we just want to make sure that the residents are impacted as least as possible as well, looking out for them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eddie Dyer. This is Alan Weiner. We live at Turnberry Place next door. We have a couple units there. We are supportive of the project. We're excited about something happening there. This is Vegas after all, so bigger and better is wonderful. Our concern is more so just the layout and design of it. I don't know if it's just something that's been thrown out there, but basically it's a series of buildings lined up contiguously, which makes it basically a 70-story wall or 50-story wall from the Strip to Paradise. And there's already one wall on one side of the Turnberry properties. This would be another wall. And I guess I just question, from the developer standpoint, the entire property, when you configure it that way, would be a shadow. So I don't know who would really want to go to a pool that's in a constant shadow. If you take an aerial view of all the major properties on the Strip, the pools are always on the west or the south side. This, all the pools and all the property and all the access area is all in a shadow. So I'm just curious, is this really, is just something thrown out there? I mean, we like the idea of all the things that are there, but just the way that it's lined up and facing linearly as a wall that high, it doesn't make sense from what it would do to the property values at Turnberry, number one, because everyone would be staring at this giant wall no matter how high you are, but also just why would you want a resort design that it's going to be dark the whole time? I'm just questioning it. So if it's being redesigned and it's just kind of something thrown out there, again, we're supportive. We like the idea of something happening. We would just like it laid out a little bit differently.
And also the property values, I don't know if any of you were.
I'm sorry, you need to state your name and spell your last name,
Oh,
please.
Alan Weiner, W-E-I-N-E-R. I don't know if any of you guys were involved with the approval, SOFR's approval of Turnberry Place and the Fountain Blue Garage. The people that bought there were told it was going to be underground 2 stories. It ended up being 22 stories. It destroyed property values in all the apartments in Turnberry Place, destroyed it. This will destroy it also for just under 800 units. You know, I've been in real estate, I know what that does. And have you guys seen the parking garage from the perspective of Turnberry? Any of you? The Fountain Blue parking garage?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we can't comment during public comment.
Okay, well, that was approved and it wrecked property values. This will destroy it there, which, I mean, there's other ways to lay this out, as there was other ways to do that, and they approved that. So it needs a redesign, complete redesign.
All right, thank you. Next.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Delabose, Tower 1, Turnberry Place, 2877 Paradise Road, Suite 1002. I'm here as a resident of Turnberry. My issue basically has to do with the amount of input and buy-in that the developer has solicited from the surrounding neighbors. Having spoken with Paul Buller, our general manager for the Turnberry Place Homeowners Association, Paul said that his total involvement with these people was a call in May of this year letting him know that there was activity going on next door, would be, potentially. And after the town board meeting where this was brought up, as far as the lack of citizen outreach, which was not the case with the prior project. The prior project held 3 public meetings, 2 at the Mesquite Club on St. Louis, 1 at the Las Vegas Country Club. I can provide sign-in sheets of the hundreds of people that were at those meetings to garner input, just like the input that these 2 gentlemen proffered prior to me coming up here, so that the project that would end up being laid out on that site would be empathetic and sympathetic to the surrounding neighborhood. Didn't happen. Don't have any idea why, other than perhaps hubris. I don't know. You tell me. That's an open question. But anytime you live in a neighborhood, I feel it's incumbent upon you as a newbie in the neighborhood to get with the people that have been there. I've been at Turnberry Place 18 years, so I believe I speak from a position of a right to talk about it. And I do not feel that any of our concerns as a community were ever addressed, let alone even asked about. And I find that very, very interesting. I also find it a rather uncomfortable and unfortunate. That sets a precedent in my mind for what kind of neighbors you have the anticipation of experiencing as time goes on over the years. If the people that move next door to you have absolutely no concern with you and don't care about you, you know what you can get from those people. And it's probably not going to be a satisfactory ongoing relationship. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Elisa Steinhauer. I'm an attorney. I sent a letter to all the commissioners. I want to verify if you all received that letter? Did you
Yes.
receive my letter?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And I also sent that letter to Sammy Real. Is Sammy here as well?
She's not, but Jennifer, who's her assistant, is, and
Oh,
she
okay.
acknowledged she got it.
And did her assistant get a chance to review that letter?
Yes, we received the letter and reviewed it.
I'm sorry?
Yes, we did receive the letter and
Okay.
reviewed it.
And my address is 5940 South Rainbow Boulevard, Suite 2000, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89118. Well, basically, the letter itself for public services, for the public, has to deal with the fact that there's been some disparate treatment here in the fact that the Allnet project was required, and Commissioner G had insisted that the Allnet project go through 3 town hall meetings prior to their first meeting with the Winchester Town Board. I do have a sheet here, and I have emails between Attorney Chris Kempfer where he was stating that Commissioner G has required that they have these meetings and that where they should be, that these meetings should be at the Mesquite Club on East St. Louis, thus costing Mr. Robinson $4,000 for each one of these meetings. 3. That's a total of $12,000 that they had to expend. This group, they didn't have to expend that. Now, that's disparate treatment. Why did they not have to paper the local community according to Title 30? They are required, according to Title 30, they are required area notice for a major project initiated by a property owner after a pre-application conference and prior to the board hearing on a specific